Morning. I'm up and ready to start the day. I'm getting excited. Tomorrow we are crossing into Hokkaido, so we only got a little bit of trail left. Today's looking like it's less than 30 kilometers, I think, maybe 27, 28. It'll get us up to a small town with a small park with a little shrine in it. And it's not an official campground or anything, but it looks like people do camp there. And it should not be a big deal if I basically stealth in this little shrine park. So we'll kind of see what it looks like when I get up there. But it's going to be another not super hot. I think the temperature is going to be less than 30 for sure, maybe 27, 28 degrees, which would be nice. But it'll be sunny and warm and hot and sweaty again. But we're starting off the day here with a hotel breakfast, so let's go down and see what we get. Hopefully something pretty decent. All set and on our way. That breakfast was great. Following Route 279 as we head north out of the town of Mutsu. Hopefully there's a lot less traffic, but we'll kind of see how it goes. Looks like still hundreds and thousands of cars going north and south. There's nothing north of here. There's the small port town of Oma, which I'm aiming for, to catch a twice-a-day ferry up to Hakodate. So I don't know where all these people are coming from and going to. The only explanation I can think of is 100,000 cars are going from Hakodate, taking the ferry down to Oma, and then everybody's driving down the peninsula. And 100,000 cars are driving north up the peninsula to Oma to catch the ferry up to Hakodate. I've been focusing on the license plates of all these cars going by. And they're all from the local prefecture. They're all Aomori license plates. They're all locals. No tourist traffic. Nobody coming from Hokkaido. I'm still baffled. This is the greatest mystery of the entire trail, is why there's so many cars on this road. No sidewalk on a dangerous, busy road. Oh, another quick break in the traffic. This is extremely stressful and extremely dangerous. I hate this kind of stuff. I think this is the little village of Sekine. I don't think any of these boats are going back in the water anytime soon. Here's the first stop of the day. Gonna drop into this Lawson. I think this will be just a short break, because another 2.5 kilometers up is another convenience store. Maybe it's a Family Mart or something. I think I'm gonna do my final resupply shopping up there, because that'll be the last one of the day. All set, back on the road. Yeah, next stop is gonna be 2.5 kilometers to another convenience store. But I was hanging out in front of the building for a little bit, and there was a guy who was chatting me up. He was like, "Where are you headed?" I told him I'm hiking across Japan, and he said he was heading up to the city of Oma, is where it's a little port town where catching the ferry for tomorrow to get to Hakodate. But he was heading to Oma anyway. He was like, "I can give you a ride to Oma." I'm like, "Nope, no thanks, I gotta walk it." Those encounters are always funny. I was just thinking about the weather. I think today might be the coldest part of the entire country, with a high of like 27 or 28 degrees today. I mean, it's hot when the sun's blazing down on you, but it's mostly shaded with tree cover right where I'm currently at. And it's actually not that bad. A little bit of breeze blowing through too. But there's places where it's in the high 30s in a lot of places in Japan right now, and topping 40 plus in places too. Even in Hokkaido, I think a couple of days ago, it was over 40. I don't know what the temperature up there is going to be by the time I get hiking Hakodate and north of there and stuff. Who knows? There's also a typhoon, I think, raining down on Tokyo today, and then it's supposed to swing east out into the Pacific. So way up here where I'm at, we may get some trace elements of rain or who knows what else. But giant squid statue over there. That's where the Family Mart is. That's my next and last resupply stop for a bit. Between here and I think the next place to get some snacks is going to be the little town of Oma for tomorrow. So I need lunch, dinner, breakfast, and just another snack or two to tide me over till I get to Oma. Okay, loaded up, good to go. Next stop is going to be a park on the other side of this little port town. I can chill and have some lunch, about 3.5 kilometers away it looks like. And I'm already across the peninsula again and back on the Pacific coast side. Cutting through the town of Hakodate. I've seen lots of squid references to things. I think they catch a lot of squid up here. I think the park I'm aiming for is just a little bit further ahead around the corner somewhere. Here we are, Hakodate Central Park. Now I just need a little shady spot somewhere in the trees. Or there might be a covered bench area over there. It's definitely lunchtime. Okay, I guess it's time to get moving again. I was hanging out in that park for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours I think. Had a very nice lunch, just chilling in the shade, relaxing. It's very decent temperature-wise when you're in the shade, but back out in the sun, it is hot. I'll be sweating through everything again in another 5 minutes. The ocean is just off back that way. We'll definitely get some better views of it later in the day. Where I plan on camping is literally right on the water at a park. And this sidewalk is awesome. I hope this lasts the rest of the day at least, or all the way to Oma would be nice. There's a lot of buoys and nets out there for segmenting different areas off for harvesting something out in the waters. That's a pretty view, looking back south along the coast. That sign there is advertising fresh unidon. Uni is one of the few things I don't like. That's sea urchin. I've had it maybe twice, and I did not like it both times. But I've heard if you get the really, really good fresh stuff, it's actually really yummy and buttery. But maybe I haven't had super fresh uni. Oh, the really nice sidewalk is just coming to a dramatic end. That stinks. This road's a little bit safer than the main route. Main route's up on my left with no shoulder. But walking this is just fine. Passing through another little coastal village. I just had a random encounter with a lady on a bike and speaking English. I didn't ask where she was from, I forgot, but it sounded like maybe Eastern European or something. She was up here house sitting for someone, and I was telling her I'm hiking across Japan. That was a pretty random encounter. All the way up here is a pretty remote corner of the country. I think I'm getting close to my destination for tonight. Almost there. Now, this is the little coastal village that I'm staying in. I was trying to get into one of these little hot springs hotels, but they're all no vacancy. There's a couple of options here. Instead, I gotta camp in the park just a little bit further up around the corner. There we are. Kaikyo Isaribi Park. Should be able to be fine with a tent here for tonight. Not exactly stealthy though, but this'll do. Okay, I think we're good here. I'm gonna wait for the sun to go down a little bit and set up a tent. And I think that's it. Tomorrow we're leaving this island and hitting Hokkaido. So this is gonna be awesome. Can't wait for the ferry ride. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the morning. Good morning. Camping out in that little park worked out just fine. It was breezy all night, but I found a little place tucked in behind a tree that worked out great, blocking the wind some. And it was kind of warm. I think the high yesterday was like 27 and it only cooled off to like 25. I think today might be kind of similar. It might be kind of more on the cooler side. And as long as the sun stays behind the clouds, it shouldn't be too bad. Nice morning. Today's going to be continuing to follow the coastal road up to the town of Oma, where we can jump into the ferry terminal, ferry over to the island of Hokkaido, and to the town of Hakodate. About 20 kilometers it looks like. I'm heading out nice and early, 6 a.m. I've got plenty of time to catch the ferry. There's only 2 ships a day leaving out of Oma up to Hakodate. The first one's super early in the morning at 6:50. Definitely not going to make that one. And then the second one is at 1:40 in the afternoon. So I got plenty of time to get the 20 kilometers in to catch that one. In general, the traffic this morning is not too bad. It's kind of intermittent waves, so there'll be like a dozen cars all at once. And then it'll be calm like this for a little bit. A couple of boats out there on the water. They're not out very far. Look like they're anchored. Always wonder what they're catching. Is that how you catch squid? You just kind of sit off in one place and throw some lines in. Now that I'm thinking about it, actually, I think squid fishing is the one done at night, where they've got a bunch of lights strung up around the boat, and the lights, the huge spotlights at night, attract the squid. I think that's how squid are caught. I think I've seen that before. I feel like this might be the coldest day on trail in months. 27 degrees and overcast. It's definitely doesn't feel too bad. I mean, it's definitely hot and warm, and I'm still soaked in sweat, but you don't have that sun intensity, and it's noticeably cooler than walking around in 32 or more degrees. That's kind of a surprise. Yeah, he didn't notice me. A little monkey right on the side of the trail. And there's a couple more sitting on top of the barrier by the road. There's probably a whole troop of them just right around this area. Coming up on this little port town of Kazamaura. Nine kilometers left to Oma. I just found this on the side of the road. It's like a little store or something, but they're closed on the weekends. But they do have vending machines out front, so I can get something cold to drink. And there's definitely little shady spots to take a sit-down break. Oh, that's nice. That's perfect. I'm gonna chill here for a bit. I still got tons of time to kill. Just relax for an hour or so maybe and enjoy the view of the waves in the ocean. Back on the road. Unfortunately, all the plastics and trash and stuff up on the shores is kind of common. What gets washed out to sea has to wash up somewhere. Walking past this, and I'm noticing these are all shelled out sea urchins. I just saw another monkey cross the road, and there's one sitting on a fence ahead on the left side of the road. I'll keep my eyes out for monkeys coming up. I wonder how often they get hit by cars out here. They're doing some grooming. They don't seem to be bothered by the traffic. Well, based on this, looks like there's future plans to build a gigantic bridge across over to Hokkaido. 17.5 kilometers. I wonder what the timetable on this proposition is. That'd be crazy. I think I'm officially coming into the town of Oma. There's a Family Mart there on the corner. We'll drop in and get all the supplies we need for lunch on the ferry. All right, I'm all set. Next stop is the ferry terminal. Less than 2 kilometers. There's our ship. Still just a little over an hour, I think, until departure. We'll just be hanging out here at the ferry terminal until it's time to board. I'm in Hokkaido, city of Hakodate. I'm in one of those awkward situations where I just can't get there from here. The hotel I'm aiming for is south side of the city, in right outside of the Hakodate train station. I was just gonna try to get a taxi down there. It's 5 kilometers away. But there's no cabs, there's no buses. I think timing-wise, I just missed everything. So either way, it's gonna take an hour no matter what I do. Anyway, I think I'm gonna walk to the nearest train station, which is still 1.5 kilometers away. And then I think a train can get me down to the station. That's the current plan. It's gonna take a bit. Okay, there's the hotel, the Premier. We're almost done for the day. Well, here we are, finally. I'm exhausted. That was quite the adventure just to get to the hotel, which should have been like a 5-minute cab ride, turned into over 1.5 hours trying to get here. But we made it. Checked into the hotel, and I gotta get cleaned up and take care of the usual. The view right out the window is pretty nice. So the coolest thing to do here is what we might get further details into tomorrow, is going up the ropeway up Mount Hakodate to get an awesome view of the city. But today it's all obscured in clouds. I think tomorrow should be a little bit better. So I'm going to take care of everything I needed to take care of. I'm going to sign off in this clip. We're here for a 00, so we'll do more stuff tomorrow. And I'll close with a shot of the mountain out the window. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all in the next one.